Many people think traveling to Everest Base Camp, you just have to take a flight from Kathmandu to Lukla before starting trekking. But actually, Everest Base Camp trek without a flight to Lukla starts from Salary. And recently, I've heard from my Nepali friend that you can even take a jeep further than Salary. The first time for me, that was many years ago, I took a jeep from Kathmandu to Salary. After 11 hours of drive by jeep, I arrived in Salary. From Salary, by walking on the quiet and pleasant trail, I passed the places called Ringmo, Takshindo, Nantala, Karikola, Paya, and Cirque before reaching Facting and Monjo, which it took 5 days for me. That time I didn't take the plane to Lukla. It was not because I was afraid of taking a domestic flight in Nepal, which has had many accidents as we have heard about it from the news. But I took the jeep because I wanted to have a different and more difficult experience, that I think it's more challenging for a small woman like me who had never trekked anywhere before.
ความรู้สึกตอนนี้เหมือนกำลังจะตายทางก็โหดอยู่แล้วนะตอนนี้ฝนก็ตกอีกนะคะแล้วกว่าจะไปถึงคาดการณ์ไว้ชั่วโมงหนึ่งนะตอนนี้ก็คงต้องเกินแล้วค่ะเพราะว่าฝนตกหนักมาก
That was my first time, but this is my second time and my American friend's first time. This time we decided to take a flight to Lukla because we didn't have much time left after trekking to Manaslu circuit and took a rest in Kathmandu just a few days.
Stairs upon the temple are climbing, not crawling. Wonder how much further I'll go.
When we arrived in Lukla at 11 a.m., then it was time to leave for Monjo. We had to pay a park entrance fee of 2,000 rupees each, which I think it is not too expensive comparing to the food and drinks all the way here, that it is extremely expensive. But I'm not so surprised because here is the most popular trail in Nepal. However, I was happy for Matt that he was enjoying trying high-quality coffee beans. He is a coffee lover. So no wonder coffee is never expensive for Matt if the taste is really awesome. The path to Monjo is not difficult, with alternating up and down walks, and the path is not very steep. It is considered the first day of the trek is like just warming up. We walked slowly today to enjoy the atmosphere, or maybe we just didn't have much energy left because we were just back from Manaslu circuit trek. And it took us 5 hours to reach Monjo. The first part of the walk to Namche is not very difficult. But after that the path is very steep. We had to use a lot of patience to walk and reach Namche. But along the way, there is the resting point that have bathrooms that we have to pay for using them. And there are locals selling snacks, drinks, and fruit. After we took a break for a while, we continued walking to Namche for about 3 hours. And before reaching Namche, we had to be checked our national park entrance tickets again. It took us 30 minutes to do this process because there were a lot of tourists. Namche is a very large village. Most people should stay here for 2 days to allow their bodies to adjust to the altitude. But Matt and I didn't have to do that, since we had recently been to Manaslu, which has an altitude of more than 5,000 meters. And at that time we didn't have acute mountain sickness at all. Today we left Namche and we were heading to Tengboche. Trail before reaching Funky Thanga village was quite easy and we could walk easily. But with an altitude of more than 3,000 meters, some people may experience oxygen problems like me, when I was here first time. But this time I felt very okay. Maybe it was because over the years I have trekked many trails in Nepal and Thailand. And Matt also has a lot of experience in trekking in many countries. So we were really okay with the trek here. I am sure everyone has seen many video clips from YouTube and other social media platforms, or even a travel guide book like Lonely Planet. Therefore, many people know how convenient it is here. And today was the same as I have known. After 3 hours, we arrived at funky Dhangnag. I actually wanted to stay here to do laundry, because it wasn't too dark yet. And there was enough sunlight that should be able to dry our clothes easily. But Matt still wanted to trek to Tengboche, as he thought he still had a lot of energy left. And I have never been able to convince him in anything. So let's see what's happening in the remaining of 2 hours to Tengboche. Because I have been here before, so I knew that in the last 2 hours before reaching Tengboche, the trail was really steep. But that was no problem for Matt, because he has a very good skill of walking and running. Moreover, his legs are twice longer than mine. And after a while, Matt saw that I walked very slowly, so Matt helped carry my bag all the way to Tengboche. He could work here as a porter then. That was he said to me.
เดี๋ยววันนี้นะคะเราจะเริ่มเดินทางไปที่ดิงบูเชนะคะซึ่งน่าใช้เวลา4 ชั่วโมงหรืออาจจะถึง6 ชั่วโมงนะคะ
The first part of the trail is not very steep. But even though the route is relatively easy, but I walked very slowly. I felt like it was more difficult to breathe. It is because oxygen is starting to decrease. That is normal, and we shouldn't walk too fast, because it may cause the body to not adjust to the height. After that, the path started to get steeper, but it was not the only one obstacle we faced today.
Snowing.
The last 2 hours before reaching Dingboche village, we had to walk on a steep path, and it was snowing. It was so cold that I cried. But finally we overcame the obstacles and arrived at Dingboche village. Dingboche village has many nice cafes, restaurants, and guest houses to choose. And this is the village where we should rest for 2 days to allow our bodies to adjust to the altitude again. The second acclimatization day of the trek in Dingboche. Most people trek up to Nangkartsang Peak, where located just above Dingboche and has a height of 5,083 meters. So the ascent to the peak will help us prepare for acclimatization.
ก็วัน rest day นะเป็นวันที่ยากกว่าวันปกตินะคะเพราะว่าทางที่ปีนขึ้นไปชันมากแล้วก็มันเดินลำบาก
That was the first time I came here, and that time I was unable to successfully climb up because I lost my gloves and it was too cold for me to walk on. So I decided not to continue because I was afraid that I might get sick. This time we just wanted to stay here for chillaxing. We spent the most of time all day drinking coffee, having delicious food and sitting near the fireplace to get warm. It was really nice day.
Yakshit.
จากดิงบูเช่นะคะมาลูกลาเนี่ยไม่ใช่ลูกลานะคะทุกลาเนี่ยก็ความสูงห่างกันแค่200 เมตรนะคะแต่ว่าจากทุกลานะคะที่จะไปสู่โลบูเช่นะคะอันนี้ห่าง400 เมตรนะคะขึ้นเขาอย่างเดียวนะทางก็กลางๆนะคะไม่โหดมากแต่ก็ไม่สบายมากนะคะเดินมานานมากแล้วนะคะแต่ว่ายังไม่ถึงทุกลาสักทีนะ
After 3 hours, we arrived at Zongla to have lunch before we had to climb up on path that is so steep. I didn't even want to look up, because the more I looked up, the more discouraged I became. It's too exhausting for me to put into words.
John!
Go,
Go!
go.
Go! Let's go!
Let's go.
After 1.5 hours, we arrived at Everest Memorial. The Everest Memorial was constructed in memory of climbers who died while attempting to reach the summit of Everest. It is the saddest point because the top of the Lukla Pass showcases over 100 memorials of the climbers and Sherpas who lost their lives. After that, the trail isn't difficult, and it takes about 1 hour to reach Lobuche. The route to Gorakshep today was very beautiful with clear sky. It only took us 3 hours, but it was a difficult 3 hours because most of it was hiking up. And there are some parts where we walked down, but it was a steep walk and we had to be careful of tripping over rocks. It feels like walking in a quarry. After a coffee break at Gorakshep, it was time to head to Everest Base Camp, which took us about 2 hours to reach there, and walked back to Gorakshep for 1 hour. The difficulty of the trail is not a big problem, but many people may face the problem of acute mountain sickness or AMS. But we were very lucky that we did not have such symptoms. When we arrived at Everest Base Camp, we spent a bit of time taking photos and walking around.
จริงๆแล้วนะคะที่เบสแคมป์เนี่ยก็คือสวยนะคะแต่ไม่ได้หมายความว่าระหว่างทางที่เรามาจะไม่สวยนะคะเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยนะคะถ้าสมมุติว่าคนที่ป่วยแล้วมาไม่ถึงเนี่ยก็คือไม่ต้องมาก็ได้นะคะเพราะว่าวิวแบบนี้นะคะมันหาได้ตลอดทางเลยนะคะก็แต่ถ้าเกิดว่าโอเคมาได้ก็เพื่อให้แบบว่ารู้สึกว่าฉันมาถึงแล้วนะอะไรอย่างเงี้ยแต่ถ้าเกิดว่ามาไม่ได้ก็ไม่ต้องมาค่ะ
Our destination today was Zongla village, where is located at the base of Cho La Pass. So we walked back to Lobuche. And from Lobuche, we walked happily near Zongla, where the route diverts from the main Everest Base Camp trail to reach Zongla village. The route is not difficult, but because I have a fear of heights, so some part of the route where I had to walk along the cliff made me feel very scared. Crossing Cho La Pass to Dhangnag is considered the longest and hardest day of this trip. I had to mentally count down at least 30 steps before stopping to catch my breath. I felt like my heartbeat was about to stop. By the way, I am very sad that I lost many video clips. Otherwise, I would have had more videos for you to see the difficulties I faced today.
Cho La Pass. Here we come. Lucky the pass expert.
We finally made it. We reached on top of Cho La Pass, marked with prayer flags and stones piles. We were really enjoying with incredible views of surrounding peaks. Although it took me longer than the average person, who takes about 5 hours, it took me 8 hours. But that does not matter to me because I have always thought that slow but sure.
Woo! Real bad. Real bad. Real Thailand. Whew. Finally. Whew. Matt, it's impossible.
Yeah, I think it's over there. I think we gotta go that way.
Which way? But the sign tell us to go this way, but it's impossible to walk down.
Many people told us that it would only take us 2 or 3 hours to reach Gokyo Lake. So I imagined that today would be a day where I could walk easily. But it was for 3 hours that I felt why God was so cruel to me. When I looked up and saw the trail a little bit before reaching Gokyo Lake, I said to myself, it's impossible for me. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Seriously? Anyway, I made it with my tears because I had no choice. Unfortunately, I had a stomach ache, and I did not think I could walk. So Matt trekked alone for 3 hours up and 1 hour down to overlook views of the world's 4 highest peaks and Gokyo Valley. After Matt came down, we actually had planned to walk to Dule, where is the way back to Lukla. But because we got a good offer on the return trip to Kathmandu by helicopter, so we decided to change our plans. We really enjoyed seeing the beautiful views along the way back.
Stairs upon the temple I climb and I crawl and wonder how much much further I'll go. Ooh. Feet that fall apart till I walk on my ankles. Can I finish? I just don't know. People travel millions of miles just to see it, but they never conquer this way.